Have you ever stopped to ask yourself whether some things are better kept within your own heart, no matter how close your family is? With age comes clarity, and one of the greatest lessons life teaches us is this: not every truth needs a stage, and not every feeling needs an audience. There are pieces of our stories, fragile, precious, deeply personal, that are meant to remain ours for as long as we live. By the time we reach our later years, especially after 75, many of us begin to look back with quiet reflection. We think about peace, legacy, and the relationships that mean the most. Yet so often, that peace is shaken not by actions, but by confessions we didn't need to make. A single comment can reopen old wounds. An unfiltered opinion can linger longer than we intend. A vulnerable memory shared too freely can create sorrow where we hoped for connection. In this video, we're exploring 4 things elders should guard carefully as they age. These aren't secrets born from fear, they're boundaries born from wisdom. Each one protects dignity, strengthens relationships, and keeps unnecessary conflict at bay. Understanding them can help you preserve harmony, protect your emotional well-being, and maintain love where it matters most. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn today could spare you needless pain, deepen your family bonds, and help you safeguard your inner calm for the rest of your life. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The details of your finances. Money has a way of reshaping even the warmest relationships. When you're young, talking about finances can bring teamwork and shared goals. But in your later years, especially past 75, experience teaches you something different. Protecting certain financial information protects your peace. By this stage of life, every naira, dollar, or pound you own carries a story your family may never fully understand. You earned it through decades of early mornings, tough decisions, unexpected setbacks, and triumphs that shaped who you are. But the moment you begin revealing exact amounts, your savings, your assets, your plans for inheritance, something shifts. Even the kindest family members can start seeing you through a financial lens rather than a personal one. Not out of malice, but out of human nature. Money can stir quiet competition among siblings, inspire subtle pressure to share more, or trigger disagreements over choices that should remain yours alone. Once those expectations settle in, it becomes difficult to take your decisions back. You may find yourself explaining purchases or feeling guilty for spending your own money. Financial boundaries aren't about secrecy, they're about dignity. They remind everyone, including you, that you are still the captain of your own life. Adult children, even with the best intentions, can push opinions that gradually become influence. And when influence becomes control, your independence can slip away without anyone realizing it. Of course, it's wise to prepare. Having a will, assigning a trusted executor, and organizing your documents is a loving act, not just for your family, but for your own clarity. What's unnecessary is offering a full financial breakdown long before it's needed. Transparency too early can create emotional weight that no family conversation can fully undo. Take the story of Mrs. Helen, a 79-year-old retired teacher. After a mild health scare, she sat her 3 children down and shared the exact value of her life savings. At first, everyone expressed gratitude, but over time, she noticed changes. One child began hinting at financial help. Another started questioning her spending choices. And the third began assuming leadership in decisions she never asked them to make. What she hoped would reduce future confusion only created new tension. She later admitted she wished she had maintained her privacy until the proper moment. Money discussed too freely can build silent barriers. It shifts attention away from love and toward expectation. In your later years, what matters most is peace. Peace with yourself and within your family. Keeping financial details private ensures relationships remain anchored in care, not calculation. And remember, the value of your life is not measured by what you will leave behind, but by the love, wisdom, and memories you share. Your finances are tools, not identity. Guarding them is not selfishness. It is wisdom earned through a lifetime of experience. Let your family cherish you for who you are, not for the numbers they imagine sit behind your name. Number 2, the full truth about your regrets. There comes a time in life when the past begins to whisper more loudly than the future. You find yourself replaying old scenes, choices you wish had gone differently, words you wish you'd said, and moments that still tug at your heart decades later. Regret softens with age, but it never fully disappears. And as the years pass, the urge to share those regrets with your family often grows stronger, almost like a desire to unload a lifetime of memories before time runs out. But one of the deepest lessons of growing older is this: not every regret belongs in a family conversation. Some truths bring closure only to the person who lived them, not to those who hear them. Your loved ones may care deeply, but they haven't lived your story. And when you expose your most painful regrets, it can change the way they see you, not as the strong, steady figure they've always leaned on, but as someone fragile, someone they feel responsible for emotionally. And that's not the role you want to place on their shoulders. Sometimes, sharing regrets doesn't heal its burdens. Family members may start carrying guilt for situations they never caused, or feel sadness over choices that were yours alone. They may try to fix a past that cannot be rewritten. Your regrets, which you've spent a lifetime processing, may become heavy for them because they're hearing them for the first time. The beauty of aging lies in understanding that healing doesn't always require confession. Some wounds close quietly. Some chapters are meant to be honored privately. You've already learned the lessons. There's no need to reopen emotional doors just to explain how far you've come. Psychologists often describe regrets as emotional markers, proof that you cared, that you tried, that you grew. But sharing every one of them can pull your family into emotional territory they don't understand and cannot resolve. It blurs the line between your past and their present, creating a ripple of guilt or confusion that was never meant for them. Consider the story of Mr. Thompson, a 7-8-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio. One Thanksgiving, surrounded by family, he admitted he regretted not going to college and believed he had failed his children by not giving them the opportunities he wished he'd had. He thought he was simply opening his heart. But his oldest son carried that confession for months, feeling guilty for the life he'd built, wondering if his success reminded his father of what he never achieved. What was meant as a moment of vulnerability became an unintended emotional weight. Your family doesn't need every detail of your sorrow to love you deeply. They already see your resilience in the life you built, the storms you navigated, and the wisdom you share. The quiet strength with which you carry your past often speaks louder than any spoken regret. If you still wrestle with certain memories, give them a safe space, write them in a journal, speak them in prayer, or discuss them with someone you trust deeply. But keep the most personal regrets where they belong, between you and your own soul. Protecting your family from unnecessary emotional weight isn't secrecy, it's compassion. And remember, your family should inherit your wisdom, not your wounds. Let them carry forward the lessons of your life, not the pain behind them. If you're still with me, comment number 2 below so I know you're following along. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful videos that uplift and inspire. Now, let's move on. Number 3, the true value of what you own. As you get older, you start to notice something you never paid much attention to before. People don't just see you, they see the things around you. Your home suddenly feels like a landmark. Your land becomes a conversation starter, and even that old trunk of keepsakes takes on a kind of quiet importance. It's strange how the objects you've collected over a lifetime begin to speak louder than your own voice. And the moment you start revealing their exact worth, how much the house could sell for, what the savings add up to, or what the antiques might fetch, everything shifts. Not because people are bad, but because numbers have a way of changing how others look at you, even when they never meant to. We all want to believe that family is immune to that. That blood protects us from the darker conveniences of human nature. And while your loved ones may care for you deeply, no one is entirely untouched by the influence of money. Once people know the full value of what you have, conversations start to bend. The tone changes. Opinions become louder. Silence becomes heavier. It's not about doubting anyone's character. It's about protecting the relationship itself. When you guard the specifics of your assets, you're not hiding. You're preserving something sacred. You're ensuring that your family sees you, not your estate. Numbers have a strange power. They create expectations, spark assumptions, and can turn the most innocent questions into uncomfortable territory. Take Mr. Lawson from Kentucky, a retired Navy machinist who casually mentioned the worth of his farmland during a Sunday dinner. Within a month, relatives were making suggestions about future plans, who should get the barn, whether the land should be divided or sold. None of it came from a place of malice, but it pulled the family dynamic off its foundation. Instead of conversations about his health or hobbies, everything turned into long, awkward talks about when the time comes. The joy of simply being together faded. Experts in aging and family dynamics often say that silence around wealth isn't secrecy, it's wisdom. It gives everyone room to love without calculation. It allows family members to speak freely without wondering if their words will be interpreted as ambition or entitlement. And it keeps the emotional balance intact, especially when you're in a season of life where peace matters more than anything. You've earned your comfort with sweat, sacrifice, and patience. You don't owe anyone the blueprint to it. Telling your family that everything is handled is enough. Explain your principles, keep your documents organized, and let time do the rest. When needed, the truth will be revealed at the right moment, without pressure, comparison, or competition. Your possessions should never become the scoreboard of your worth. Their real value lies in the freedom they've given you, the roof that sheltered you, the land that fed your peace, the money that bought you dignity in the hardest years. Those things are personal blessings, not public currency. And here's the truth most people never say out loud. When you keep the details of what you own private, you allow love to remain pure. You let your relationships breathe without the heavy shadow of inheritance hanging overhead. That quiet boundary may be the most generous gift you ever give your family because it protects the one thing no amount of money can buy: peace. And remember this, what you own didn't fall into your hands by chance. You built it one day, one paycheck, one sacrifice at a time. That history, the long nights, the tough choices, the years you held everything together when life tried to pull it apart is the real treasure. No price tag can ever measure that journey, so guard it, honor it, and don't let anyone reduce a lifetime of effort to a dollar amount. Some stories, especially the ones written in sweat and survival, deserve to stay yours alone. Number 4, the depth of your fears. Picture yourself sitting on the porch as the sun dips behind the hills, the air thick with the smell of autumn leaves. The world around you is quiet. The only sounds are the soft creak of the rocking chair and the distant laughter of children who barely remember your name. In that stillness, fear creeps in not of tomorrow's troubles, but of the silence that will follow when you're gone, of the moments no one will remember, and the legacy that feels fragile as mist. These are the fears that sit like shadows in your chest, felt more deeply than spoken. Take Clara, a 9-year-old retired school teacher from Ohio. She often worried about being forgotten and about the long stretches of solitude that sometimes followed her days. But she kept these fears private, writing them down each night in her journal. One evening, she invited her granddaughter Lily to sit with her on the porch. As the wind rustled through the trees, she shared a gentle truth. "Everyone feels a little afraid sometimes," she said. "But fear doesn't have to rule you. You can honor it quietly, learn from it, and still move forward with your heart open." In that single, calm moment, she showed her family that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the quiet ability to carry it without letting it consume those you love. There is a subtle power in keeping some of your fears unseen. It allows you to reflect, grow, and prepare without creating anxiety for those around you. By navigating your worries privately, you discover your own resilience, your capacity to adapt, and the inner strength that comes from facing life's uncertainties head-on. This quiet mastery of fear becomes your personal triumph, a proof that courage can exist even when the world feels fragile. Sharing every fear may seem honest, but it can unintentionally place a burden on those you love. Your children and grandchildren draw strength from your steadiness. When they sense too much worry, their own hearts tighten, not out of indifference, but because they cannot carry it for you. By holding some fears in private, you protect their peace, letting love, guidance, and reassurance be what defines your relationship. This doesn't mean shutting down entirely. There are ways to release what weighs on you without unsettling others. Penning your thoughts in a private notebook, confiding in a trusted friend, or speaking with a counselor who can hold your anxieties safely. These outlets let you process fear honestly while preserving the calm your family needs. Remember, real strength isn't pretending to be fearless. It's knowing what to keep private and what to share. By handling fear with quiet dignity, you teach acceptance over panic, grace over despair. The peace you model becomes the foundation for those who love you. The lasting lesson that courage is measured not by absence of fear, but by mastery of it. And here's the hidden truth few speak aloud. When you face fear alone, you give it form, you understand it, and you transform it into wisdom. Each quiet battle, each private confrontation with doubt, becomes part of the story you leave behind. Not a story of fragility, but of resilience. Your calm in the face of life's uncertainties shows your family that even in the final chapters, it's possible to meet the unknown with grace, and that is a gift far more powerful than any words you could ever share. As we wrap up, take a quiet moment to sit with the 4 reflections we explored today. How you manage your finances, the unspoken truths of your regrets, the real value of what you own, and the quiet weight of your fears. Each of these carries a subtle kind of power, one that can either guard your peace or unsettle it, depending on the care with which you hold it. True wisdom in the later chapters of life isn't measured by how much you share, but by how thoughtfully you choose what to keep to yourself. Silence, when guided by love and intention, becomes a gentle protector. It preserves dignity, prevents unnecessary tension, and allows your relationships to remain grounded in trust rather than expectation. Life teaches you that not every truth needs to be spoken to be understood. Some lessons live best in the quiet corners of the heart, shaping the way you give love, offer guidance, and leave your mark on the world. By keeping certain things private, you're not closing yourself off, you're exercising insight. You're shielding your legacy, your peace, and the harmony of the family you've spent decades nurturing. Let your family remember you for your steady strength, your calm presence, and the quiet confidence that has carried you through life. Let them carry forward the lessons you've lived, without inheriting your worries. The experiences of a lifetime don't require explanation. They demand only grace, reflection, and mindful care. Thank you for being here with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share one insight that resonated with you and how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your reflections inspire not only us, but everyone who joins this journey. If this video brought value to you, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, uplifts, and empowers. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to share more insights with you in the next video.